Again, please, guys, show our hands. We'll come to as many views as we can. We start with Simon, I assume.
Hi, Rico. I was looking back, it was just under 12 months since you played on that pitch against Girona in a post-World Cup warm-up for the start of the season, and you were just making a breakthrough then. Do you feel a different person and a different player in the 12 months that you've grown into a first-team player at Manchester City?
Well, I'd say in terms of being a person, I'd probably say I'm the same. But in terms of a player, I'm in and around the best manager, the best players in the world. So it's almost impossible to not develop as a player. Whether you're playing or not, training every day with the best people. You're gonna develop yourself.
When you first went into the dressing room, obviously you're aware of all these players. You look up to them. What's it like as a youngster being in that dressing room and there's people like De Bruyne or Haaland or whoever in there? How easy is it to get used to being their teammate?
I think at first it's very difficult. You get very starstruck and, you go from watching them on TV to be sat in next to them in the changing room. It's quite amazing. But I think after a while, you get to speak to them and, they're just normal people just like everyone else. And, they're really good people as well. So for me, they've been so welcoming. So it's been so easy and a pretty easy transition to becoming from someone who I just watched on TV to someone I can speak to.
Hi, Rico. After the Leipzig game a few weeks ago, Pep said you were one of the best young players he's ever trained. How does a compliment like that make you feel coming from somebody like Pep?
Obviously, it's quite difficult to, comprehend that someone like that is saying something about yourself, especially for me, who I've watched all of Pep's teams growing up and the players that he's worked with. Obviously, it's an amazing comment, but for me, I've just got to carry on doing what I can do and, playing the best I can do in every game.
It's been such an amazing sort of first season for you. What have you done with all your medals?
No, they're just hung up on the side of my wardrobe, so I need to find a better place for them. But I always, when anyone comes around, they always want to see them, so I just keep them out.
You must have sort of so many mementos from that first season. Obviously, the medals. Is there anything else you've kept?
Obviously, we've got the miniature trophies from all the trophies he's won, so I've got them up now. But I think main stuff is just the shirts, like scoring my first goal and stuff like that. All the shirts I've kept a shirt for every kit we wore. But anything that I could hold on to, I'll hold on to that first season for probably the rest of my life.
And it feels like quite a lot of teams, when they come up against City and you're in the team, they sort of target you and try and get at you. Are you used to that? Do you enjoy that?
I think that's what just comes with being a younger player. I think it happens to a lot of players where, they see a younger player and, it's an easier target for them. And it's a way to, get into another player's head. But for me, you can take it as a compliment, and it can't really affect your game. I've just got to carry on playing how I know I need to play.
Do you use that to your advantage, or do you shut it out?
Like I said, I can take it as a compliment, but it doesn't really affect how I play. I just, I understand it's going to happen, and I accept it's going to happen before the game. But I just carry on playing as like I said, how I want to play, and shut it out.
Hi, Rico. Going back to the last year and your time playing more often, is there one thing in particular that you've learned, or what's the biggest thing that you've had to learn in that time? I
think it's hard to say one thing in particular. I think there's so many things I've learned from, whether that's from Pep or from any of the players. I think it's more just keeping focus 100% time in the game, because comparing men's football to, academy football, you can be punished very easily for minor mistakes in men's football. I'd say just keeping a laser focus and also having confidence within yourself to do what you can and you can do in games.
Are there any players in particular? I guess they've all been good, but are there any in particular that have been really good with you from day one, really?
Yeah, I think definitely Kyle. Obviously, when I came in, I was always playing fullback, and whenever we were in a tactical, I was always stood next to him. So, he was always giving me little pointers here and there, and I think that's what helped me a lot. I don't really need much information or too much at once. It was just like little things that he saw that can improve me, and I can take anything on board from him. It's one of the best fullbacks to ever play in the Premier League, So it's again another thing that I'm going to always continue to learn.
How's Carl been as a captain? Has he taken on more responsibility, or is he just same as he always was?
I think he's always been, a captain, whether that's with the armband or without. I think definitely this year he's taken more on his shoulders, and you can see in the way he plays, he's got so much passion anyway that he fits the role. So I think it was a no-brainer that he was going to be captain this year, him or Kevin. But I think most players in the team have that kind of leadership that anyone could be the captain.
Thanks.
Yeah, so.
To Rob, please. Either. Fighting over.
When you look at, or when you were looking at the steps that you had to make to get into the first team, from youth team to 21s and then training with the first team and into the first team, has it all happened a bit quicker perhaps than you expected?
Yeah, it was definitely a shock. I think from when I was 16, I was training with, you come up and you help train with the first team, you do the tactical sessions and you're kind of like a mannequin for them. And I think even that in itself, it's very special to everyone. You get a chance to see what, the elite players are doing. And I think spiralling from that, I've had so many opportunities to train with them. And then obviously I've been very fortunate to go on pre-season tour with them. And from there on, it was just amazing just to see how quickly it all folds out. And it's not really like someone comes up to you and says, oh, now you're with the first team. It's more just like it's a natural thing. And from the pre-season tour onwards, it was more just like focusing on myself and staying there and doing the best I can every week to stay there.
Rico, obviously, as you've discussed, it's been a speedy rise and an outstanding 12 months. If you can keep, maintain this form and have another great season with City, have you got sort of some hope you might possibly be able to force your way into the England reckoning for the Euros next summer?
Obviously, it's a dream that every player will want to play at a big tournament for their team, but for the country even. But I'm just focusing on whatever I can do to better myself, and if that comes with it, it comes with it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not something I'm focusing on. I'm just trying to focus on, the things that I can improve on in myself. There's so many things that I can get better at. So I think, first of all, I need to focus on myself.
Yeah, and I mean, you've not obviously got a bunch of England players in that City team. Do you ever ask them your question about it? What it's like?
Of course, I always, when they come back from international break, I'll ask them what it's like. How is it different to here? Any sort of information I can get from it, I will do, because it'll, give me an idea of what needs to be done to get there. But like I said, for now, I just need to focus on what I can do. And if that involves me going there or doesn't go in there, it doesn't really matter. I just need to get better.
Cheers, thank you.
All good. Oh, sorry, Anton. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Look, we talked about obviously the last 12 months being a bit of a whirlwind, but with everything you've achieved, you've actually had a chance to take it in and sort of enjoy it and the magnitude of it all.
Probably not as much as I'd expect to, but I think that's what comes with football. Every season there's more trophies to win, and I don't think you really get time to stop and think about last season, because you're in the new season already. Like it feels like yesterday that we were playing last season in the final, and we're already here like 10 games into the season and stuff like that. So I think with football, it moves so quickly. If you stop, you'll get left behind. So I think the main thing for me is just enjoying what's happened last season, but now focusing on what I can do better and improving for this season and all the seasons to come.
When was the first time you kind of realised, wow, I'm famous, my life's different now?
I don't know, isn't probably not a direct point, but just when like going to the co-op or going to Tesco and I've got to take a picture of someone, something like that, when I'm trying to shop for food. And I think obviously it's for me, I don't mind it, because it's, you dream of being a footballer and that's what comes with it. So but that was probably
enjoying that side of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Excellent, thank you.